Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for coming back. If you're old, if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Alright, so today's video is a video that I already uploaded. I took down the other video and I'm refilming it. And to be honest, when I was editing it, I was like, I should probably refilm this. And then I uploaded it. I'm like, I should probably refilm this. And then I uploaded the video and people were not happy about it, and I'm like, yeah, I probably should have refilmed it. Before we get into this video, will you please go follow me on Instagram? I've been trying to get to 2,000 subscribers or 2,000 followers on Instagram. I've been putting a lot of work into it. I'm actually gonna make a video about how I hate Instagram, so follow me on Instagram so you can call me a giant hypocrite in the comments. All right, and there were a couple reasons why. So basically this video is about how I went to Seattle to go visit a Tinder date. I got some pretty not happy comments about this, and I think one of it was part of it was the way I portrayed the information. I didn't give you guys all of the details, which I don't feel like I should have to give you guys all the details, but there were some pretty important details that I had missed. And part of it was just me being grumpy when I was filming the video, so I was already in a very negative state of mind, so I had a lot to complain about, which there was kind of a lot to complain about. Some people just didn't like that I went to Seattle, so, or didn't like that the Tinder date brought me to Seattle or whatever. And if that's the case, I can't really help you with that. If you're upset about that, then whatever. My subscribers know that I'm bold and spontaneous, so I'm not gonna pass up an opportunity like that. But I could have done a better job of relaying the information. And part of it was just I was kind of a giant asshole. There were some parts where I'm like, oh, that does not paint me in a good picture. That is not me being a good person. So I'm sorry about that. Normally, if I'm comfortable saying, I'm comfortable uploading something, as long as I'm okay with saying whatever I said in the video to the person that the video is about. So if I wouldn't be okay saying it to their face, then I would not upload the video. And there were some things I said in the last video about the guy that I would not have said to his face, and so I shouldn't have uploaded the video, but I did anyway, and y'all roasted me for it. So here I am again, retelling this story. If you've already seen, or if you already watched the last video, watch this one again, because there's gonna be more details, I guess, that were not in the last one. And I'm also gonna be a little bit happier. I literally just woke up. I was asleep on my face. I was out with friends. I've been very tired lately. I don't know what it is, which has been part of the issue. I don't have very much time to film, and I was like, if I don't film this video now, then it's never gonna get filmed. And so I filmed it when I was super tired, and it came off really I was a gigantic asshole. So there's that. There's so much dust. I don't know if you guys can see it, but there's so much dust everywhere. I don't know why. So basically, here's what happened. I matched with this guy on Hinge, and I know you guys are like, oh my god, whatever. It's Hinge, not Tinder, but it's the same shit. I matched with this guy on Hinge. I was still in kind of the state of mind where I was on the rebound, basically. I saw his profile and I was going back and forth, and there are certain things that I look for, are they athletic, are they in good shape? That's pretty much what I look for. Are they decently tall, or at least my height? Whatever. And I was kind of back and forth with this guy, but he had a good job, so I was like, okay, whatever, yeah, I'll say yes to him. I wasn't super sure about him. Whatever, he was fine. And I say that a lot, and I will continue to say that a lot throughout the video, because it was fine. So we matched, and I was lukewarm about him, and he was like, let's go out for drinks, blah blah. And my friends are like, you should go to drinks with him, and I was like, I don't know, I'm not sure where I'm at with that. And so I ended up going out to drinks, and it was a good time. I was in a place where going to drinks with him was a good experience. He sometimes you need people to like boost your ego, and he really like did that for me. He really like helped me out in that area. He boosted my ego. He ended up really liking me. Like, I liked him. The date went well, like it wasn't bad or anything, but he like really liked me. He was like, I want to see you again in Seattle for work, blah blah blah, like I want you to come to Seattle. And I was like, okay, well, I'll think about it. So we were texting about it, and then I kind of like not really blew him off, but wasn't super engaged about the Seattle conversation. And then I was talking to my friends, and they're like, you should go to Seattle, like it'll be a good experience. I wasn't sure about going to Seattle. Like, we had a good time on our date, but I didn't know him very well, obviously, because we had one date. And I do not like to spend a lot of time with just one person. I just don't like to be around one person for a certain amount of time. So I was worried that I was gonna go to Seattle and feel trapped by this person and not be able to get away from them. So that was one of my reasons. And also, like, I did not know him. He could have murdered me if he wanted to. I was unsure. My friends were like, no, you need to go. And some of my friends have actually done this before. I have a friend that went to Portland, and I have a friend that went to Denver to go on dates with a guy that they've like previously met before. And they said they were good experiences. If I didn't know anyone that hadn't done this before, then I probably wouldn't have gone. I don't know, I may have still gone. But basically, like, I knew people had done it before. Like, this is kind of a common thing now, I'm pretty sure. And he was really pushing for it, and I was like, okay, like, I guess, like, and we had a good time on our date. So I was like, okay, let's go, like, we'll just do it. I kind of wanted to make the trip as short as possible. So I flew in on Friday night, and I left on Sunday morning. So basically we spent like Saturday together, and it was fine. I mean, we really just like walked around the city and did like touristy things. He's not a person that I got super excited about. How do I say this? I like very, he was boring. Honestly, that's the only way I can say it. Like, he was nice, but he was very boring. I'm sorry, I don't know. I mean, some people are gonna be mad that I said that, but like, he was like, he didn't have very much of a personality. I have a very big, bold personality, and when I'm around other people with big, bold personalities, my personality really comes out. And when I'm around boring people, I'm boring. So overall, the trip was pretty lukewarm. Like, it was fine, but it wasn't, I kept wishing the entire time that I was there with someone that I was like cared deeply about, or I was there with my friends, because I knew that I would have fun in those two instances. And it's not that I didn't have fun, it's just like I could have had more fun if I was there with someone different. So overall, Seattle was fine. He was fine. I ended up ending things with him. So here's the thing. He was coming back to Sacramento literally, like, I flew out when he flew, like the same day that he flew back to Sacramento. So we flew back on the same day. I could have seen him the next weekend, but he wanted me to go to Seattle. He's like, I want you to come to Seattle and be in the city and like come and like do this, blah blah blah. Like, he specifically requested that I go to Seattle, so that was an experience that we could do together. That is what he wanted. I didn't ask for that. I didn't suggest it. I did not imply it. I did not want any of that. That was all him. It was his idea. It was his planning. I offered to pay for things, blah blah blah. Like, it's not like it wasn't like a sugar baby situation, which I know some people had very strong opinions about it being a sugar baby situation, and it's not. If we had gone out on maybe like 5 dates and I decided that I didn't like him, no one would have anything bad to say about it. but because like I traveled to go see him, people were like, I don't know, I'm a bad person or something like that. I'm not a bad person. I would never use someone in that way. In the last video, maybe it looked like it sounded like I did that. I didn't. I wouldn't, which is exactly why I ended things with him shortly after we got back. I was still, when you travel with someone, you learn a lot about them, I guess. So I guess I learned more about him in that amount of time than I would have otherwise, which is good. So I knew that we're not compatible. Like and the situation, like it wouldn't have worked. Like it couldn't have worked. There was no way, there was no point in pursuing it because like it wouldn't have worked. It couldn't have worked. Our personalities weren't compatible. He was very, very busy with work. Like there was no future. And I knew that, and he knew that. It wasn't like, I just didn't see a point. So I texted him and I told him, hey, like you are so sweet. Like I really like valued meeting you, blah, 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 but like this isn't gonna work. And he said, okay, like it was great meeting you, like wish you the best. And that was it. So that was it with that situation. However, y'all know me. So when we were leaving Seattle, I was checking into the kiosk at Delta Airlines and I left my phone there. And I remember specifically where I put it down because I had to like rummage through my purse. I was very frustrated. And so I checked in, but when I checked in, they're like, oh, your ticket isn't valid. So then I had to go to like talk to a people. I had to go in like the special whatever line. So I went in that line and had to check my bag and blah, blah, blah. And then they got me checked in. And then I went to security and I realized that I didn't have my phone. I had left it on the kiosk. So I go back to the kiosk and my phone is gone. And then I'm like frustrated. I'm like, okay, either someone found it and turned it in or someone stole it because it had been maybe 20 minutes. So I asked the lady, I was like, did you find a phone? And she was like a little like, you know, when someone in customer service is being nice, but they're obviously irritated. That's how her attitude was. And then I was irritated because she was irritated that I was asking her where my phone was. And I was already like, it's a little bit stressful when you don't have your phone and you're traveling. I know some people were like, this makes you look so superficial. Anyone that loses their phone in any situation is gonna be frustrated, like flat out. I don't care who you are. If you lose your phone, you're gonna be pissed off. So you can come at me like I'm a bad person for that, but like anyone's gonna be irritated about that. It was a little bit more frustrating that I had lost my phone because I was in a different state traveling. I'm fortunate that I didn't need to order an Uber. I didn't need to call anyone to pick me up. I remembered where my parking was. Like I'm lucky that I had everything that I needed. That was all taken care of. Otherwise I would have been screwed, but it's fine. I asked the lady if she found my phone. She was irritated. She said, no, I haven't found any phones, but you can go talk to these people. So I went and I talked to the people where I checked in and they're like, no, we haven't seen a phone. I'm like, fuck, like this sucks. So then I go back to the kiosk and the lady is like, I'm talking to the lady about my phone. Or I found a different lady and I asked her about my phone and she's like looking around for it and she's like, you're sure you were here? And I'm like, yes, I'm positive I was here. Which I understand, like when you work in customer service, sometimes people literally don't know where they are, but like I knew where I was and I knew like I was at this kiosk on this side of the airport. I was here for sure. Like I wasn't upset that she was asking that because I understood why she was asking that. But then she's like, no, like I haven't seen it, blah, blah, blah. She's like, you can go check the airport lost and found, but I don't know if they're open on Sundays. And I'm like, that makes no sense. Like, and my flight was leaving in an hour. I'm like, I can't go to lost and found. Like I literally cannot go to lost and found. So I left Seattle without my cell phone and it was fine. It was honestly kind of nice just to like for the first few hours, I'm like, okay, I can decompress, no social media, whatever. But then I landed, and as soon as I got home, I went straight to the AT&T store and I talked to a girl, and the girl was very nice. I told her, I was like, hey, I lost my phone today, this morning. It is in Seattle. What can I do about it? And she was like looking at the insurance, and I wasn't sure if I had insurance on my phone because I wasn't the one that bought it. My ex-boyfriend bought my phone, and he bought it because he had broken my last phone, and it wasn't like, it was an accident. I wasn't sure if he put insurance on it or not, or if he got Apple Care, and he didn't, and I didn't, so there was no insurance on the phone. So she was like, well, I can put insurance on the phone and then you'll be able to make a claim in 30 days, blah, blah, blah. I was like, no, like, well, I was like, okay, I'll just like come back tomorrow and do that. She's like, you're sure you want to do that tomorrow? I'm like, yeah, because I need to buy a new phone and then come back and then put the insurance on the phone and then switch my number over and like this whole thing. And it was late and I wasn't going to be able to have a new phone. And like, I'll just do it tomorrow. Like, I don't want to deal with this like right now. I didn't say that. I was just like, I'll just come back and do it tomorrow. And she's like, you're sure? And I'm like, yeah. So then I went over to my parents' house after I went to the AT&T store, and I was trying to like contact people via Facebook to get my phone or like buy a new phone or buy a phone off them, because cell phones are very expensive. And I'm like, what do I do? Do I just like go to Best Buy, buy a phone outright? Do I go to Apple, buy a phone outright? Do I pay $500, pay off my old phone to get a new phone? Like, what is my options here? I ended up paying $200 to get an iPhone 7, and fortunately I got it from an cell phone repair shop. That was the easiest way to do it because I didn't have a cell phone. I couldn't GPS places to go. I was trying to contact people on Facebook and it like wasn't working. Luckily, I found them via Facebook Marketplace and they were open on Labor Day. So I get the phone, and then I go back to the AT&T store. I told the guy at the store, I'm like, listen, this is what the girl told me yesterday. She said she was going to set up insurance on my old phone. I'd be able to make a claim in 30 days, and then I'd be able to essentially like get my phone, get an iPhone 10 back, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, we can't do that. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, I've been working here for 14 years. Like, that's not possible, blah, blah, blah. Then I was like irritated because the girl was just gonna do it yesterday. But what I didn't realize yesterday was the girl yesterday was going to commit insurance fraud for me, but I wasn't understanding that in the previous situation. So I ended up, he was like, well, I can put insurance on this phone. I'm like, this is an iPhone 7. Like, I'll just pay to replace the iPhone 7 if something happens to it. Like, I'm not gonna buy insurance on this phone. And so I had to pay $5 to get a new SIM card for the iPhone 7, and then I was rolling with an iPhone 7, and basically I had planned to keep that indefinitely because this phone was not paid off yet. So I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'm just gonna have an iPhone 7 until further notice, until something miraculous happens. And I was okay with it. The only thing that I missed was my pictures. Like, I really wish I would have backed up my pictures, and then like the settings were off, and I don't even know what settings like. I've been going from iPhone to iPhone to iPhone, and all of the settings have been transferred like automatically. So I don't even know like what settings I have on my phone, but I know that whatever was happening on the iPhone 7 was not the business, okay? It was not what was happening. So I missed the settings. That is something I could eventually figure out. And then I missed the my pictures on the iPhone 10. I also missed Face ID, but that's a little superficial. Like, I got over that. The fingerprint worked fine, but I prefer the Face ID. Anyway, so 3 weeks later I get a call that they have my phone in Arizona, and I'm like, okay. I didn't even ask them how they found it. I got a call from Delta in Arizona, so here are my two hypotheses. Someone took a flight to Arizona and realized that they had grabbed my phone and it wasn't theirs, or someone at Delta in Seattle had found my phone, and there's like a processing center in Arizona, and they shipped it to Arizona. From Arizona they called me, and how they knew to call me was I put like Find My iPhone on here, so when you do that you can display a message. So I displayed a message saying, please call this number if you find this phone. So that's what they did. They called me, they said they had my phone. I didn't ask questions. I was just so excited to have my phone back because of the pictures on there. That I was just like, okay, thank you so much. They said that, they're like, did anyone tell you to create an incident report? I was like, no one told me to create an incident report. He's like, that actually really surprises me, because I guess like that's something that the people at the airport should have told me, but they did not. They didn't really seem to care that I lost my phone, which honestly, if I worked in customer service, I probably wouldn't care that someone lost their phone either. But I was very frustrated in the moment. So I ended up going online, creating an incident report, called the guy back, had the phone overnighted to me. It took like 3 days, but I was just so excited to have my phone back that I didn't even care. So I got really lucky. I kind of felt like I was gonna get my phone back. Like I kind of knew, so I'm like, there's no way, like it doesn't make sense. My phone just didn't disappear. Like someone has my phone, I'm gonna see it again, I'm gonna get it back somehow. Like someone's gonna realize that like my phone is in Seattle, like it's somewhere. Like I knew that I would get it back because it didn't make sense for it to be gone. So I'm glad I have my phone back. I have my settings, I have my Face ID. Overall, the trip to Seattle was fine. I will go back to Seattle, I will say. I have family in Washington, and also like my friends want to take a trip there, so I'm down for Seattle. I just I'll probably maybe pick a different person to go with. The guy was very nice. I mean, he did say some things that I was not okay with. He seemed a little clingy, but overall, like, he was fine. Like he did say and do things that I kind of disliked, but it's fine because like I went through the situation and now I moved on. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Please go follow me on Instagram, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.